What if I told you that opening the grave of a 500-year-old warlord triggered one of the deadliest invasions in modern history? A curse buried in stone. A warning ignored. And just 2 days later, millions of soldiers marched into war. This isn't a Hollywood script. This actually happened. Stay with me, because this is the story of Timur's curse, the grave that may have changed the course of World War II. In the 14th century, a man rose from the deserts of Central Asia. Feared across continents. A military genius. And a ruthless conqueror who believed mercy was a weakness. His name was Timur. Or as the West remembers him, Tamerlane. He ruled from Samarkand, in modern-day Uzbekistan, building an empire soaked in blood. His campaigns, so violent, that some historians estimate he wiped out 5% of the world's population at that time. Timur didn't just conquer cities, he erased them. Centuries passed, and Timur's legacy was buried beneath history. Literally. Until 1941. In the heart of Samarkand, Soviet archaeologists made a shocking discovery. The lost tomb of Timur. It was a monumental moment. Cameras, scientists, even Stalin's officials took notice. But hidden deep within that grave, was something chilling. A broken stone, with an ancient inscription. Whosoever disturbs my tomb shall unleash an invader more terrible than I. Some laughed it off as superstition. Others hesitated. But the Soviet scientists opened the grave anyway, and pulled Timur's remains from the earth. What happened next still sends shivers down historians' spines. Just 2 days later, on June 22, 1941, Nazi Germany launched Operation Barbarossa. The largest military invasion in history. Over 3 million German troops stormed into the Soviet Union. Cities burned. Millions died. And the Eastern Front became a nightmare of destruction. Some called it coincidence. But others believed the Soviets had awakened a curse, and Timur's ancient warning had come true. Years later, one of the Soviet officers involved reportedly said, "When we exhumed Timur, the war began. When we returned him to rest, the war turned in our favor." And guess what? In 1942, after devastating losses, Soviets reburied Timur's remains with full Islamic rites, honoring the tradition they had once disturbed. Soon after, the tide of war began to shift. The Germans were pushed back. Stalingrad stood strong. Coincidence? Maybe. But in the chaos of war, even soldiers start to believe in ghosts. So here's the question. Do you believe in ancient curses? Was it just bad timing? Or did the Soviets really unleash a force bigger than themselves? The grave of a forgotten conqueror. A warning in stone. And a war that changed the fate of the modern world. Sometimes, history doesn't whisper. It screams from the grave. If this story gave you chills, hit like, share this with a history lover, and subscribe for more untold mysteries from the shadows of time.